Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James, schooloftrade.com, October 25th, 2010. Guys, happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good weekend out there. Boy, the G20 summit this over the weekend, all the big Fed chairmen from all over the world got together, pushed that dollar around, didn't it? Boy, woke up this morning to a dollar that looked like it had been at Six Flags theme park on the roller coaster all weekend. So, busy Monday morning, but a little bit of a waiting game is going on. We'll talk about that here in a second for you guys. I want to remind you guys about our blog. On the blog right now, go to the YouTube page. There's a bunch of videos on the YouTube page you guys have probably never seen before. But while you're on the blog, don't forget live support 24/7. Up at the top here, guys, top of the blog, you've got Trade Room Resources. There is so much information, guys, under Trade Room Resources. Highly suggest you guys take some time. Had a bunch of questions this morning about range charts. Had some new members this morning that said, what's the difference between time charts and range charts? And of course, the answer to that question is under Trade Room Resources. You'll see the chart types about halfway down the page. So check out the blog, guys. You're right there right now, up top, Trade Room Resources. And of course, if you want to know more about market profile or trade management, maybe range charts, how they differ from tick charts and time charts, you can find more information there, guys, right on the blog. Let's keep moving. Now, we had a pretty sluggish day today, right? Mondays are always kind of hit or miss, but this Monday was one of those Mondays where we kind of wish you would have hit the snooze button a couple more times and slept through it because we didn't get much out of it until about 11:45. If you left early this morning, guys, and I really don't blame you, we didn't see much volume here until about 11:30, but after the European close, had a nice wave pattern we've been waiting for about an hour and a half this morning that finally set up for us. It was a great trade. We got a chance to take it live in the room this morning, and if you missed it, come out and join us tomorrow. Of course, we'll do it all over again. Hopefully tomorrow that dollar will be moving a little bit more and we'll get some more action out of it. Right, so as you can see, 2, 4, 5 total trades, 91 ticks. Now, of course, we had a couple on the euro there this morning. Right, dollar was jumping, breaking highs at 11 o'clock, which means the euro was dropping. We shorted the euro. It didn't go very far. We'll take a look at that here in a second, though. But as you can see, though, 965 euros at 12.50 per tick. Our monthly total now, 29,000, guys. Remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago? 30,000 bucks is our goal this month. We might just hit our goal this month. Not too shabby, huh? And of course, you got the yearly total there at just shy of 180,000. All right, guys. So gold, crude, and the euro today, guys. Now, what's the most important thing? What happened today? Well, Mondays are supposed to be slow, right? The same reason why you and I don't want to get out of bed early on Monday morning is the same reason why nobody else does. So Mondays are usually pretty slow. We usually get some pretty good volume after the U.S. Open, and we usually do a pretty good job Monday, Tuesday, right? Welcome to a busy week. Well, of course, today, though, what do we see? We opened up our charts. First thing we do is we look at the dollar. We compare ranges, right? Wide range, inside day, outside day. All this sound familiar? We do that every morning in our morning prep. And, of course, the dollar gave us a couple reasons, 3 to be specific, right, to be concerned today. Right? Now, if you looked at it, the dollar had these big swings, and we're going to take a look at that chart here in a second. Whenever we see those big swings, you're always going to see some consolidation, some sideways ranges there. That's pretty much what happened. We had narrow trading ranges. We were inside the range from yesterday, had a very low average to range. We're always looking at that ATR and very little speed. So we spent most of the morning pretty much just waiting to see what the dollar was going to do, waiting for those highs and lows to be broken. We spent about 3 hours waiting for it. After 11 o'clock, it finally broke, and that's where we got the party started this morning. As you can see here, guys, here's my chart of the dollar. Now, this is a 21 range chart. I like range charts. You can pretty much use whatever you want here, guys. 21 range, 13 range, 34 range. Now, look at what happened over the weekend, right? We had the G20 summit, which, of course, all the Fed leaders all over the world are there talking about, well, all kinds of fun stuff. And, of course, you can see up and down, big ranges. So you have this monstrous trading range from Friday. And then you've got this little teeny-tiny trading range here on Monday morning. At 11 o'clock, we see the dollar break up, and then, of course, right, like a good flat day, it came right back down in, and of course, ended up finishing up our morning chopping around. Okay, so usually when the dollar breaks the highs, we're going to see everything explode. Didn't happen very much today. We'll talk about that here in a moment for you guys. But one thing we always do is we compare the range. We compare the disposition, right? Are we above or below, or are we inside? And we also look at the ATR. Now check out the ATR, guys, here, lower right-hand corner. This is my ATR chart. It's average true range. Now again, we had another guest on Friday, last Friday, asked the very same question. How do we use average true range? Well, guys, the answer is on the blog. Right up top, Trade Room Resources. Look for average true range. It's about 3/4 of the way down. There's a video, an article, and lots of great examples. Well, guys, we use average true range to tell us when the narrowing prices, right? Narrowing prices. What's wrong with narrowing pricing? Narrowing prices mean no big breakouts. I make money when the market goes up and goes down. If the market goes sideways, I really can't make that much money. We make money in sideways markets, but they're broad sideways markets. When the market's going real tight, sideways, and narrow, guys, that means be careful out there because price will end up going like this too. Well, now you can see here we've got this trend line, and what do we notice? Where are we here? Of course, you got to pay attention here, of course, at 8 a.m. Where were we here in relation to the big picture? We were at the lows. And not just the lows for this morning, the lows of the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. All right, guys? So we knew, of course, up here, when I saw my tight sideways range in the dollar, when I saw an inside day, and then I saw the ATR had been dropping every day since late last week. Well, of course, that tells me, right, this is not a healthy market I want to be looking at as a day trader. So we mark up our highs and our lows. I wait for dollar to break the highs, which it did, but we never quite got that ATR really jumping. And the ATR really told the story throughout the entire day. We're going to keep an eye on that tomorrow morning for you guys as well. So come out and join us tomorrow. We'll be talking about the average true range in the morning. We'll look at the dollar. We'll go through the entire morning prep, and you guys can go through this whole thing with me. So the bottom line is the dollar this morning at 8 o'clock is screaming, right? Be careful out there. Right? Be careful out there. Trade smaller size. If you're a brand new trader, might not be a good day to be on a live account. Might be the better day to be on a demo account. All right? But the biggest thing is you've got to be now looking at only the very best patterns. No more cheating, right? No more forcing trades. We've got to make sure we get the right stuff here. All right? So here's a chart of my crude. Got started today on crude and finished today on crude. Now what you'll notice first of all here is what? We've got a wedge pattern. Absolutely, right? That was something that stood right out today, right? Wedge pattern. High trend lines, low trend lines. All right, guys? Now, of course, the wedge patterns, what does that mean? I'm going to sell the highs, right? Buy the lows. Avoid the middle, right? Stay away from that middle because the middle is where we get all chopped up. All right, guys? Well, what happened today? We sold, yeah, exactly. We came right on back down. We sold those highs. So price came on down, broke below the trend line. We were waiting for it. In fact, we had kind of speculated that it was right around 82.80, right? Somewhere around that 82.80 level. Just below the 83. 83 kept stalling us up there. We waited for price to come down below 83, but we were speculating about 82.80 this morning at about 8 o'clock. And of course, that's pretty much what happened. Didn't quite get in at that high, but had obviously sold the highs though, coming back down. So wedge pattern on crude, and guys, this is one of those times when our morning prep does exactly what we expect. Now, I got kind of caught off guard here because what happened was we had been waiting for a while. You'll notice here, guys, this is 11 o'clock here now. Right, so 11 o'clock here on crude, we finally break out of this sideways chop. Now this, of course, was our sideways range up here. So we've been chopping around sideways here. We knew we had a trend line, of course, as resistance. Right when I go to take my euro trade, of course, we'll take a look at the euro in a second. As I switch to grab my euro, what do you think happens? Yeah, that's right. The crude falls out of bed. So once I switch to the euro, I focus on my euro, all of a sudden now we get the breakout on crude. Now I know, you guys grabbed all that money on the way down.